Hi, welcome to my channel, and today I have another theatre vlog for you. So tonight I'm actually travelling to the Storyhouse in Chester to see their production of Kinky Boots. Now it's been a long time since I've seen Kinky Boots, so I'm really excited to see this show. I've heard some good things about it and yeah, can't wait. I've not been to Storyhouse for a long time, so really excited to go back there. It's one of my favourite venues. And yeah, so I'm going to take you along, show you around the theatre, show you the view from my seat, and then I'll give you a full review once I get home. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. Okay, so I've just arrived at the Storyhouse now. It's just here. Just gonna head in. It starts in about half an hour. Okay, so it's now just gone 7 o'clock and the restaurant is open. We both got a nice drink. I got a Diet Coke and Nathan got a Coke. And now it's time to head in. So we're in the circle on row B. I'm not sure what seats, I just need to check the tickets. Okay, so we're on row B, seat 11 and 12. Okay. So we're in the auditorium now. We're on row B of the circle. Picked up a programme from the text desk, and I'll just show you what my view is like. It's a really, really good view. Okay, so this is the view from my seat. So I'm in row 12. Yeah, I'm on row B, seat 12. Hi, so it's now the interval and really enjoying the show so far. It is so good, very different to any other production I've seen of it, and yeah, really, really enjoying it. I'll give you a full review when I get home, but so far in the interval it's really, really good.
Kinky Boots! Thank you, Lola! What's up? made up their minds. As customers all over the world clamour for Kinky Boots! It's time for us to get back to our factory. But before we would like to leave you with the price and silent secret to success. Now, you all have the 12-step program. Now, well, you can do the 12, you can do the 6. Then it goes like this. See the truth. Learn something new. Accept yourself and you'll accept others too. Let love shine. Let love be your life. You change the world when you change your mind.
Tomorrow night. I'll just take a couple of minutes of your time. As I'm sure you're all aware, Storyhouse is a charity, and that's something I'll do. Thank you. We really do rely on the generosity of you, our audiences, in order to continue making exceptional theatre here on your doorstep in Chester. Storyhouse Young Company is the only free training actor scheme in the area. And for young people who may be disadvantaged, face barriers, can't afford university or drama school, this scheme is crucial in order to allow them to hone their craft and pursue their dreams. We would love it if you could consider donating this evening so we can continue this great work and give young people the opportunity to be on stage in Storyhouse original productions like Kinky Boots this evening. Our lovely volunteer ushers are dotted about the place and with contactless buckets. Obviously, for those of you who have spare change, maybe consider folding it up. We really appreciate every penny that you can give. On that note, thank you so much for making it out this evening and safe travel time. Thank you.
So the show has now finished and I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really, really good. They actually do the finale in the foyer and they get everyone out of the auditorium and go into the foyer, which was fun. And anyway, I'm going to head back to the car now and I'll tell you all about it once I get home. Hi, so it is now the next day since I went to see Kinky Boots at the Storyhouse in Chester, so I thought I'd give you my review on it. So I was kindly invited to go and review the show by the Storyhouse. I went with my brother-in-law Nathan. He tends to drive there whenever I go there, although I could get the train, so if he couldn't go I could get the train, but he always kindly drives us there when we go. So I went with Nathan and we haven't been to the Storyhouse for such a long time. I think the last time we went to the Storyhouse was back in February 2023 when we went to see Faustus. So I was so glad to be going back and to the Storyhouse because it is one of my favourite venues, and hopefully I can go there a bit more now that I can get the train. I'm better at trains than I was a few years ago, so hopefully I can go a little bit more now because I do really love that venue. So we went on the press night, which was on the 8th of May, and the show started at 7:30. It has a runtime of 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I think the ticket prices start from £23 up to about, I think it's £45, the most expensive ticket. But I will say, if you do want to go and see this show, you need to be quick because I think it's almost sold out. There aren't that many tickets left, so if you do want to go and see it, quickly go and look at tickets because, like I said, there's not many left, and it's not on for much longer either. It's only on till the 18th of May, so only on for another week this week, and then it's finished. So yeah, you need to be quick if you want to go and see it. So yeah, like I said, I went on the press night, which was on the 8th of May. I was sat in the circle, but for this show they've set out the theatre in a thrust stage, so which means that audience members sit on three sides of the stage and they make the auditorium a lot smaller. So sat on row B of the circle, you literally feel like you're right next to the stage. It was really, really close to the stage. It was a fantastic view. I think those tickets are usually about £45, so actually not actually that bad a price for that sort of view. So the show didn't have any merch. The only merch that they had was Storyhouse merch. They had quite a lot of nice Storyhouse merch actually. They had a couple of water bottles, they had notebooks, they had tote bags, they had pens. So they had lots of really nice Storyhouse merch if you wanted some merch for the theatre, but there wasn't any for the actual production other than the programme. I got this free because I was reviewing the show. I'm not 100% sure how much they are to buy. I think they're between £4 and £6, like most programmes are. So I'm guessing between £4 and £6. But this is actually a really nice programme and I will show you it in a bit. So if you don't know anything about Kinky Boots the musical, it is based on the 2005 Miramax motion picture of the same name, and it was written by Jeff Dean and Tim Firth. So it actually features music and lyrics by Cyndi Lauper and a book by Harvey Farstein. So the musical actually debuted on Broadway back in 2013. It then opened on the West End in 2015, and it then went on a UK tour in 2018. And I actually saw the musical on its tour in 2018. It was its first ever tour, and I think its only tour so far. There is actually a tour coming next year, but so far that's its only tour in the UK, and that's the only time I've actually seen the musical. And we really enjoyed it when we saw it. It was really good. I don't think I was doing theatre vlogs back then, but I did vlog it for one of my weekly vlogs. And yeah, we really enjoyed the show. So when I heard that the Storyhouse was going to do a production of it, I was really excited. One, because I love the Storyhouse, and two, because I knew they do great productions. Every production we've seen that they've produced has been fantastic. And three, because I loved Kinky Boots when I saw it last time. I also read that they were doing totally restaging it, but also using actor musicians as well. So I knew that it was going to be very different from the production that I'd seen before. So I was really excited to go and see it. So I was really happy when I was invited to go and review it. So the musical actually tells the story of Charlie, and he inherits a failing shoe factory from his recently deceased father, and Charlie wants to keep the factory going. He doesn't want to have to end up closing it and getting rid of all the loyal staff that have worked there for years and who he has known since he was a child. Obviously his father's run this shoe factory ever since he was a young child. He knows all the workers there, so he really doesn't want to let them down and have to let them go. So he really wants to try and make the factory work. So Charlie's at a loss as to how he can make the factory work until he meets a drag queen called Lola. And he comes up with an idea of producing boots which are suitable for drag queens, because normal women's boots, he said, aren't made to hold the weight of a man. So by making these special boots which are with the heel which is able to carry more weight, they will be suitable for drag queens. So he ends up hiring Lola to become the designer of the boots, and they work together to create a new collection of boots. And so as Charlie and Lola work together, they actually discover that they have a lot more in common than they think. And the show ends in a big catwalk in Milan, and the Storyhouse actually do this in a really special way, a way I haven't seen done before. Obviously I've only seen the show once before, but yeah, it was really good the way they did it. So for Kinky Boots, the Storyhouse had rearranged their theatre into a thrust stage. So that means that you have audience members sat around 3 sides of the stage. It also means that the theatre feels a lot more intimate because you're a lot closer to the action. So I was in the circle. I was on row B of the circle, seat 12, and I felt so close to the stage. Even though I was supposed to be in the circle, it felt more like you were in the stalls because of the way they had the theatre set up. If you look in the vlog, you will see how close that I actually look to the stage. So I really like that. I really like the intimate feel and feeling so close to the actors. You actually sort of felt like you were part of the show. So I loved the way they had the stage all set up. The staging and set design was quite simple. It was obviously made to look like the shoe factory. So the back wall was made to look like a brick wall of a factory. It had the Price and Sons sign on the wall, and then on either side of the wall there was some windows, and through the windows you could actually see some of the musicians and the instruments. So I think in one window you could see the keyboardist and the keyboard, and in the window you could see the drummer. But the rest of the band were actually on stage, so all their instruments were sort of scattered around the set so that they could pick them up whenever they needed to use them. So you could see scattered around in different places the rest of the instruments. So in the centre of the stage it had this sort of raised wooden platform. It's like a square shape, and they actually used this for several things. It's where most of the acting took place. So most of the acting took place on this raised platform, and then the area around that was where the actor musicians tended to be when they were playing. They also used this raised platform really well in one scene where they turned it into a boxing ring, and it was also used as the stage for Lola when she was in her club, in the nightclub. So they used this platform really well. And changing this into the stage for Lola's nightclub was done really well. It's enhanced by Charlie Dunford's lighting design, which was really good, and it just helped to enhance the set. So the costumes for this show were designed by Rachel Ryan, and I really enjoyed them, especially the drag queens' costumes. They were really colourful, really bright, they really stood out. So I really loved all the drag queens' costumes, but I also loved the other characters' costumes as well. I thought they fit in really well with the story, and I just thought she did a really good job with the costumes. So one of the main reasons I love Kinky Boots so much is actually the music. Cyndi Lauper's score for this is fantastic. Her music has a lot of different elements in it, from pop, rock, even has like some Broadway influences in there, and I just really enjoyed it. Some of my favourite songs include The History of Wrong Eyes, which is a more upbeat song, but then there's some really beautiful ballads in there as well, such as Not My Father's Son, which I have to say was performed fantastically by Dwayne Lamont O'Gara, who plays Lola. Blew me away with his performance of that. It was really emotional, and I think a few people were even tearing up in the audience. He did a fantastic job with that ballad. So, yeah, like I said, it's a mix of upbeat songs and some beautiful ballads as well. I thought the musical director Sarah Datoon had done a really good job of showcasing the songs, using different orchestration to the original production, and it just made the show sound fresh and new and exciting. It brought out something different to the show, and it didn't just use the same orchestrations as the original. So the cast of Kinky Boots was absolutely fantastic. The ensemble not only played multiple roles, but they also played instruments as well. I think some of them even played more than one instrument, and they all gave a fantastic performance. We then had Danny Becker playing Charlie, and I thought he gave a strong, nuanced performance, and he made the character feel effortlessly likeable, and I thought he also had a really good voice as well. We then had Dwayne Lamont O'Gara, who played Lola, also known as Simon. Again, his performance was outstanding. He was able to show his character's strength and confidence as his drag persona Lola, but also showing the vulnerability his character feels when that persona is lifted. One of the highlights of the show for me was definitely his performance of Not My Father's Son. He just sang it with such emotion, and it really allowed the audience to empathise with Lola. Playing Lauren, we had Leah Vessel, and I thought she was really likeable and she had excellent comic timing. I really loved her performance of History of Wrong Guys. I thought she played that fantastic. She was really funny and she's got a fantastic voice as well. So those are just some of the cast that really stood out. Now is probably a good point actually to go through the programme and show you the cast that were in the show. Okay, so this is the programme. As you can at the top, it says Storyhouse Originals, Kinky Boots, and it says it's on from the 3rd to the 18th of May. So if you look inside, it's got some adverts for some upcoming shows that the Storyhouse are doing at the Grosvenor Park Open Air Theatre this summer. So they're doing The Importance of Being Earnest in August to September. They're doing The Gangs of New York in July to August, and then they have the Wonderful Wizard of Oz, a walkabout theatre experience from the 27th of July to the 22nd of August. So then we have this little Welcome to Storyhouse by Annabelle Turpin, the CEO of Storyhouse. We then have a message from Susie Henderson, the creative director. And then here we have information about the show. So we have the creative team. So we have the director, which is Amber Sinclair. Production designer, Rachel Ryan. Musical director, Sarah DeToot. Choreographer, Nicole Bonsai. Sound designer, Katie Harvey. Lighting designer, Charlie Dunford. And casting director, Jane Anderson, CDG. Then over here we have the cast. So we have Danny Becker as Charlie, Dwayne Lamont O'Gara as Lola / Simon, Leah Vessel as Lauren. We have Gareth Cassidy as George, Phil Corbett as Mr. Price, Rachel Gannett as Milan stage manager and ensemble, Lewin Half Roberts as Pat, Caitlin Howard as Trish, James Ifan as Richard Bailey, Sebastian Lim Seat as Harry, James Lowry as Angel, Roddy Lynch as Don, Remy Martin as Angel / understudy Lola, Serene Sandham Davies as Nicola, Thomas Snakey as an angel, Joseph Lachlan, James Hughes and Oliver Irons as young Charlie, Larice Scritt, Orla Nukuinga and Adrian Matali as young Lola. And that is the cast. It also says for the House of Dance and the band at the bottom. We then have an interview with the director, Amber Sinclair Case. And then we have an interview with designer Rachel Ryan. And here it's got some concept art for the costumes. It then has an interview with Danny Becker, who plays Charlie Price. And also an interview with Dwayne Lamont O'Gara, who plays Simon / Lola. And then we have the cast biographies. So we have, like I said, Danny Becker as Charlie. Some of his theatre credits include the Christoph understudy in Frozen the Musical, Stand By Liam and Jonah in Bad Jews Play, Jamie in The Last 5 Years, live streamed at the Other Palace, Moses and Aaron understudy in the original West End cast of The Prince of Egypt, Aladdin understudy in Disney's Aladdin. So those are just some things that he has done. So we then had Dwayne Lamont O'Gara as Lola / Simon, and some of their theatre credits include Motown the Musical, and he's also performed in The Lion King at Disneyland Paris and also in the West End. So we then had Leah Vessel, who played Lauren. Some of her theatre credits include Amelia Earhart / Mary Seacole / Rosa Parks in Fantastic Great Women Who Changed the World. I did see her in that and she was fantastic in that also. Other things she's done is she's played the alternate Seymour / Parr in 6 at the Vaudeville Theatre, and she's also played Consuelo in the West Side Story. We then had Gareth Cassidy, who played George. His theatre credits include Ladies Down Under, The Card, Treasure Island, Astley's Astounding Adventures, The Prince and the Pauper, The 39 Steps. That's just some things that he's done. We then have Phil Corbett as Mr. Price. His theatre credits include Mamma Mia the UK Tour, Hamlet, The Tempest, The Murder of Sherlock Holmes, Return of the Forbidden Planet, Twelfth Night, and The Secret Agent, for which he also composed the music. So that's stuff that he has done. We then had Rachel Garnett, who played the Milan stage manager, and she was also at the ensemble. So I'm not going to go through everyone's theatre credits. We also have some rehearsal photos here. So I'm not going to go through everyone's theatre credits, but I'll just quickly show you everyone's pictures. So we had Lunwin Half Roberts as Pat, Caitlin Howard as Trish, James Ifan as Richard Bailey, and the understudy for Charlie Dunn, Harry, Mr. Price and George. We had Sebastian Lim-Seat as Harry, James Lowry as an angel, Roddy Lynch as John, Remy Martin as an angel and understudy Lola, Seren Sandham Davies as Nicola, Thomas Sankey as an angel, and then we had James Hughes as one of the young Charlies, Joseph Lachlan as a young Charlie, and Oliver Irons as a young Charlie. Now I'm not sure which one we had. I can't tell from the pictures, unfortunately, but I do know that young Lola we had Larice Script as young Lola, but they also have Ola Nakunga as a young Lola and Adriana Natali as a young Lola. We then had Jack Downs as Milan fashion model, Jasmine Gerland as a Milan fashion model, and Sophia Miller as a Milan fashion model. We had Rose Mahuto as a Milan fashion model and Ellen O'Neill as a Milan fashion model. We then have the creatives biographies, and then we have some information on Storyhouse. With this page it says about supporting Storyhouse, because if you didn't know, Storyhouse is a charity, so they rely on donations and membership from the community to get money in. This is a thank you to our partners and supporters page. got a advert for the Grosvenor Park Open Air Theatre and some of the movies that they're going to be showing over the summer. And that is the programme. Actually, that's a really good programme. There's lots of information in there, lots of articles and interviews to read, so I think that's a really good programme. So the show's finale, which is where they do a catwalk in Milan of the boots that they have created, doesn't actually happen on the stage in the auditorium. They actually move the entire audience out into the theatre's atrium, so that it's sort of like this special interactive experience. So when I found out that this is what was going to happen, I did have my reservations because I thought it might disrupt the flow of the show. And also I do suffer with bad social anxiety and I don't like feeling sort of trapped in a crowd. So I was worried once we all got into the atrium, would it feel quite, would I get overwhelmed by feeling in this big crowd of people? However, the way it was managed was really good. The staff all worked really well to make sure everyone got out of the auditorium really quickly, really smoothly. They directed people where to stand, and I think everyone managed to get a really good view. So, and I also didn't feel crowded. It didn't actually feel that crowded. I think they spaced everyone out around the auditorium really well. So it actually ended up being one of my favourite parts of the show. It was really good. You got everyone up on their feet, clapping away. Everyone had a great time, and it really did feel like we're at a catwalk. So yeah, it actually turned out to be really good. I thought it was fantastic. And it was a really unique and enjoyable conclusion to the show. So I had an absolutely amazing time seeing Kinky Boots at the Storyhouse, and I rated this show 4 stars. I thought the show was full of heart and conveyed a message of inclusivity, self-acceptance and perseverance. I thought the story was beautifully told and well executed, with amazing performances from the cast. I thought the show felt fresh, exciting and fun, and the show left me feeling uplifted and inspired. Overall, I thought it was a wonderful show, and I definitely recommend everyone go and see it. So like I said, the show's only on at the Storyhouse until the 18th of May, so till the end of this week. So if you do want to see it, do hurry and go and get your tickets. I would love to go again. My husband really wants to go, but there's just not a day free for him to go because he's already going to Bolton this week to see Little Shop of Horrors. So unfortunately he's gonna have to miss out on this one, which he's gutted about. He really wanted to go and see it, which is a shame, and I really want to go back and see it, but I can't fit it in this week. Obviously with the kids, if we didn't have kids, we could easily go, but because we obviously have the children, we can't get babysitters for them, so unfortunately I'm not going to get to see it again. But if I could, I would definitely go and see this show again. So I will link below where you can get tickets for the show, so if you do want to get them, there'll be a link down below for you. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. If you do enjoy theatre vlogs and reviews, do consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell to be notified as soon as any new videos go up. I do have quite a few shows booked in. I have tickets for Aladdin this month. I've got tickets to the opening night of Burlesque. I've got tickets to see the Syndicate as well at the Lowry, lots of other ones as well throughout the year. So like I said, if you enjoy theatre vlogs and reviews, please do consider subscribing. And yeah, like I said, if you have enjoyed the video, please do give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.